Coach, to me, Seattle feels like they're on upset alert. Their offense is struggling. Rams defense leads the NFL in yards per play allowed. It's going to be low scoring. Russell Wilson has been off for several weeks. Is there a team out there that would worry you a little this weekend, a favorite that would be upset?
Yeah, I think that Tampa has to be worried about being upset. And it's one of those situations where when you insert Alex Smith into the equation, he makes good decisions, typically. He can have long, sustained drives, which will keep Tom Brady off the field. They've got those 5 number 1 draft picks on the defensive line. And is Tampa, have they really figured it out? Or is this a function of playing against bad opponents over the last month plus? You'd like to think that offensively they have answers now. But it's a little bit like what you said with the Steelers early on. Is it a mirage, or is this truly the Tampa Bay offense we can expect in the playoffs? And I don't think that's been answered.
You know, I want to talk about the Steelers right now. Kevin Stefanski is not there. Olivier Vernon's not there. The COVID outbreak. But let's talk Stefanski. How punitive is it that a young quarterback that's never been in the playoffs will not have his play caller? Your thoughts on Cleveland in this game?
Well, I think it's difficult really difficult, but everything about the season has been difficult. And a guy who's handled it as well as anybody is Kevin Stefanski. You talk about all the challenges he's had to overcome. So I'm sure there'll be a good plan in place. And he's got the benefit of his quarterback coach in Alex Van Pelt calling the plays. And I'd say, Colin, the one advantage that Cleveland has with a new play caller is defensively, you have no fingerprint on that guy. You don't know his tendencies. Usually when you're going and playing a team for the third time, you have a real edge because you understand not exactly what, but you've got a good idea of what that other human being who's calling the plays is going to do. You insert another play caller, and I know he's going to try to stay true to what Stefanski would want, but it's unsettling from a defensive perspective for the Steelers. So that part of it is a positive in a very negative situation.
Do you feel, is there a team that maybe, look at this game. Now Pittsburgh, the sense is, well, they've got to win. They're at home. Everybody's rested. Stefanski's not there. The downside, I could argue, is it's all the heat is on Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you talk about a team that's under pressure. The start that they've had, okay, to go 11-0 and break a franchise record, to just be beat barely by the Browns last week when you didn't have a bunch of starters. You rested your starters. It was an away game, and now you come home and they don't have their head coach. They don't have their play caller. It's an incredible amount of pressure. Every single thing says that they should win, and they should win handily. But with what Cleveland can do in the running game and the way that they could potentially control the clock that way, it could easily go the other way.
I want you were in a lot of these playoff games. Describe to the audience, you think, when I watch NFL football, every play, it's like hockey. You can't take a play off, you get hurt. But is there a palpable sense the playoffs do feel different as a coach or a player?
Yeah, absolutely. And we would always talk about this with the young players. So when you start and you go from the preseason, when there used to be a preseason, to the regular season, things amp up there. And then when you go to the regular season to the postseason, it amps up to a whole nother level. Now, from a coaching perspective, it's an absolute pleasure to coach in the playoffs because everybody is as dialed in as they're going to get. There's no question of whether or not people will be studying. There's no question of how hard their work. There's no question of what their effort will be, what their intensity will be. So coaching-wise, it's how you'd want it to be every single week. But the veterans, the people who have been there before, understand that there's no guarantee that you're going to go back. And all those thousands of hours of work and monotony and sacrifice, that's what you're playing for. And guys who've been there once and then have another opportunity, they understand completely that it's fleeting, and you've got this small window to maximize the chance, and it's intense.
Yeah. By the way, Colts have a running game. That's always problematic if you have a high-powered Buffalo offense. They are playing so well right now, the Bills are. I take them. All your Patriot teams, does it matter how you play in the last month, or is that all media nonsense? Because I look at Buffalo and I think, God, they're a Hail Mary away from being 10-0 down the stretch. Does how you're playing now matter?
Yes. It to me, it absolutely matters. And when we won that first Super Bowl, we were 5-5 through 10 games, and we got on a winning streak, and it carried, it fueled itself, and we went into the playoffs even though we were on a winning streak. We also had that level of confidence, knowing that we could play with anybody, that we could win in a lot of different ways. And when you lose games late, and you just have a little bit of that insecurity or just some of your confidence taken away, it can affect things. Now, is it the only determining factor? No, not at all. There's been some teams that have won late and done well, but you want to go in with that momentum because it does carry you.
By the way, Deshaun Watson unhappy. Some say he would seek a trade. It appears the owner said he would at least listen to him on a candidate, and he didn't, which is communication's got to be better than that for any organization. But did you ever, in New England, did they ever listen to Brady on a coach hire, a draft pick, anything?
No, not that I know of. And look, in these situations, it comes down to ownership. And then it's the general manager, and you got to allow them to make those decisions. And as much as you respect the impact that a player can have, the player is just one component of the big picture. And you look at what happened with Aaron Rodgers. It's not like they looked to him for impact on a head coach, and that's worked out pretty well for them. So yeah, you may listen to their concerns, but this is a much bigger picture decision and selection than having one player impact that.
Yeah. Well, they went and got another Patriot, so I think. I mean, the Patriots.
More to come, Colin. More to come, I think.
Yeah, Josh McDaniels will be a leading candidate for that gig. Eric Mangini, happy birthday in about 3 or 4 days.
Nah, a little longer than that, but yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.